Hello guys, today we are going to do one sum on final account. Now we have done in the previous video the format of trading account, P&L account, appropriation account, capital account, balance sheet. I have explained you each and every account before this video. If you have not seen the previous video, do watch those videos first because that will clear your final account fundamentals. After learning all the 5 formats, then you come to this video. In this video, we are going to solve one sum on final account with the adjustments. Now, before starting with the sum, there are certain things which I would like to tell you and you have to keep in your head. It's very important. Number 1, whenever you start solving final account sum, you have to follow 3 steps. Step number 1. You have to read the adjustment, and after reading the adjustment you have to put tick in the trial balance, whichever item. Let's take example, adjustment says outstanding wages. So what you will have to do, you have to find wages in the trial balance, and wherever you see trial balance, inside the trial balance wages, there you have to put a tick. Understood? Likewise, read all the adjustment and put a tick inside the trial balance. Now why we are doing so? Because wherever you have given a tick inside the trial balance, we are supposed to leave one extra line for doing that adjustment. Understood, students? So what was step 1? I am repeating, students. What is your step 1? You have to read the adjustment given below the trial balance. You have to read that adjustment and you have to see that adjustment is going to affect which item in the trial balance. So whichever item is getting affected, you have to put tick to that item inside the trial balance. Once you have gone through all the adjustment, your step 1 is done. Clear? We are going to call it as ticking. So your step 1 is ticking. You have to tick the items inside the trial balance, those items which have adjustments. Clear? Step 2. Step 2 is you have to complete your trial balance first. Each and every item of trial balance must be written in your answer. And as I said in my previous video, trial balance, whatever you see inside the trial balance are recorded one. Therefore, you are going to write only once in your answer. I mean to say you will give only one effect in your answer. So that is your step 2. I am repeating. Your step 2 is to write each and every item of trial balance in your answer one time. So we are going to call step 2 as trial balance. Now step 3. What you will do in step 3? You have to read the adjustment now. And every adjustment, as I explained you before also, adjustments are unrecorded. Now you are recording in your final account. Therefore, you have to give 2 effects. Am I clear? So let's revise all the 3 steps together. Step 1. Ticking means you have to read the adjustment, you have to put tick inside the trial balance, whichever item they have given us a adjustment, those items you have to put a tick. So step 1, ticking. Step 2, complete your trial balance, writing once in your answer. Step 3, adjustment, 2 effects. So in these 3 steps, and in this order, when you solve any level of sum, may be difficult or challenging one, definitely it is going to tally, but you have to follow my guidelines strictly. If you go with these steps which I have explained you, each and every sum has to tally. Am I clear with this? So this was the 3 things which you have to keep in your mind while solving your sum. Now the other important thing which you have to consider in your mind. You have to make the format trading account, P&L account, partners capital and balance sheet. After making the format, you have to write these things before starting your sum. In the very first line of trading account, you have to write 2 opening stock, then you write 2 purchases less purchase return. On the credit side, buy sales less sales return. You have to write this before starting your answer. Okay? And in P&L account, I want you to write down the format for bad debts. What is format for bad debts? This I have explained in my previous video. To bad debts plus further bad debts plus new RDD minus old RDD. So this is what I want you to do before starting with the sum. So you have to make all the accounts, and after making all the accounts, these are the things which you are going to write it in advance before starting the sum. Am I clear with this? So let's start with this sum. Now we are going to, I have already taken the items. I have read the adjustment. I have also tick marked the items in which there is an adjustment. So I am done with my step 1, ticking the adjustment. Step 2, trial balance. So we are doing now trial balance. Now this question which I am solving in this video is given in your textbook, which is in the e-book, which is in the PDF format. So if you have PDF format of your Maharashtra State Board textbook, it is question number 6 which I am solving. If you don't have even PDF file with you, not to worry. Below this video I am going to send you a link for the question. You just tap on the link and you will see the question. You can also download the question. You can take a printout of it, whatever way you want to. You will get the question which I am solving in this video. So below the video you will find a link. When you tap on that link, you will find a PDF format file wherein I have sent only this question, not the entire book. Only this question is there in that link. So put a tap it on that e-link, on the link which I have sent you, and take a printout, and you can have a refer to the question and watch this video how I am solving the question now. So I am starting with step 2, that is trial balance. I am starting with the debit balance. So hope you have taken a printout of the question, or you might have a soft copy. You see in that soft copy on the debit side we are starting with, they have given us stock on 1st April. So it is a opening stock. So write it in front of opening stock. We have already written it. Just put the amount 8,560. Then they have given us patents. In patents there is an adjustment given to you, and patents, it's an asset, will go in balance sheet. So patents you will write in asset side in inner column 2000. Why inner column, students? Because you have given a tick on this item, patent. So whichever ticked item is there, you have to write the amount in inner column and leave one extra line, because there is a adjustment. We need extra line to do the adjustment. After patents there is a sundry debtors, will go in balance sheet asset side. Sundry debtors 18,500. Even in this there is a adjustment. You have to write the amount in inner column and leave one extra line. Then they have given us stock of stationery. Stock of stationery is also your asset. If it is only stationery, it is your expense, will go in P&L account. But if they give the word stock, stock means whatever stationery is left unused, that is your asset only. So you will write it in asset side, stock of stationery, and there is no adjustment. You can write this amount in outer column, 3,000, stock of stationery. Then trademark again, it's your asset and there is no adjustment. So put the amount in outer column, 2,000. Then bills receivable, again it's an asset and there is no adjustment. So write the amount in outer column, 6,300. Then electricity charges, it is your electricity bill, it's an expense, so it will go in profit and loss account. 2, electricity charges, it will go in P&L account, and there is a adjustment, so you will write it in inner column 1450 and leave one extra line. Then wages is your expense, it's a factory expense, so it will go in trading account. to wages, and in wages there is a adjustment, so write amount in inner column 950 and leave one line. Then heating and lighting, even this will go in trading account. It's a factory expense, so again you will write it here in trading account, heating and lighting, and the amount you write in outer column. There is no adjustment, no, so write it in outer column 1000. Then trade expenses. Now this is a very important item, students, listen carefully. Trade expense, you have to check your entire trial balance, and if trade expense is given along with the general expense, then your trade expense will go in trading account. Now if it is given along with the general expense, your general expense will go in P&L. Now why, students, you are doing this? Because it may be possible that the business is maintaining one account only. It may be possible that they are maintaining one account for general expenses, which is also called sundry expenses, along with the trade expenses. Means a business, if it is a small scale business, they won't prefer to have separate accounts. So they mixed up general expenses, or you can say sundry expenses and trade expenses. So in that case, when they mixed up, they will give you only one item, trade expense. If it is mixed nature account, it will go in P&L account if it is mixed. But in the large scale business, what they do, they prefer to have two separate accounts, general expenses and trade expenses. So your trade expenses, which is special related to trading, will go in this account, trading account, and your general expense, which is a sundry expense, will go in P&L account. So be careful with this trade expense, because it is not fixed that it will always go in trading or P&L. You have to check the question. If inside the trial balance you find that trade expense is given along with general expense or sundry expense, then trade expense will go in trading account and general sundry will go in P&L. And students, what you will do if they have given only trade expense and there is no general expense or sundry expense given in the question? It's alone, only trade expense is given, only one account. So it is a mixture, and if it is a mixture account, you have to put it in P&L. So you will write it in P&L. In this sum, they have given only trade expense. So you will write in P&L account. It's a mixture, not a special account. It's a mixture. So you will write in P&L account. In outer column 850, there is no adjustment given. Hope, students, you have understood with this item trade expense. Be careful with this. Sales return, we have already written, just write in front of sales return 400 in inner column. Land and building, it's an asset and there is a adjustment, so write the amount in inner column 22,000 and also leave one line for adjustment. Then they have given us furniture. Even there is an adjustment for furniture, write the amount in inner column 13,000 and leave one line for adjustment. Cash at bank, again it's an asset. Cash at bank, no adjustment, write in outer column 5,000. Investment, again it's an asset. So all assets are given together, land and building, furniture, cash at bank, investment, and there is no adjustment on investment given. So you write the amount in outer column 7,500. Drawings. Now drawings you will write in partners capital account. This is a new account, students, for you. Remember, in capital account you will record capital on the credit side. And I gave you a trick in my previous video how to remember capital credit side, C for C. Remember this way, CC, capital credit, and drawing debit, DD and CC, so that you never get confused and never you make a silly mistakes of writing on the wrong side. So remember this way, CC and DD, capital credit, drawing debit. So this is a drawing, you will write it on the debit side of capital account to drawings account. And the amounts are 1200 and 900. Bad dates, you will write bad dates in bad dates का format में 200. Purchases, against the purchases 23,700. Fine, we are done with the debit side of the trial balance. Hope you have a question with you. And credit side, now credit side you check, credit balance you check. Credit balance, first item they have given capital. So capital you will write it on the credit side, but you will write it as balance brought down. For capital, never write inside the capital account by capital. You will write by balance brought down. Archana 40,000, Prerna 20,000. So these are capital balances, and this is a shortcut. Capital on the credit side CC, drawing on the debit side DD. Then they have given other loans. It's a liability. So write it on the liability side. Other liabilities. Sorry, other loans. So other loans are given. You will write it on the liability side. Other loans 3,000. No adjustment. Then reserve fund. Reserve fund is your accumulated profit. So again this will go in the liability side, 1,000. It's a profit, students, and profit is payable to the partners. It's a liability from business point of view. So remember, students, profit is a liability from business point of view. Business have to pay this profit to the owner, to the partner. So it's a payable liability. Then sundry creditors. Again it's a liability. 17,500. Why I left this page, students? Because you have to always write partners capital account balances first of Archana and Prerna, which we are going to get later. So these closing balance will come here. That's the reason I left this page. Creditors, after that they have given us bills payable. Again no adjustment. Write the amount in outer column, 5,000. Then RDD. Which is this RDD, students? If you have seen my previous video carefully, while I have just explained you bad debts ka format, I have said that RDD given inside the trial balance is always of last year, and last year ka RDD is old RDD. So old RDD is 500. Right in front of old RDD. Remember, RDD in trial balance is always a old RDD. Write it in the format against old RDD. Sales 30,200. You can minus this amount now. 29,800. Write the actual sales in outer column. This amount is actual sales. Interest is given in the credit side. Even this rule, students, if you remember, I have given a trick. A very golden rule for this topic. Trial balance ka debit item will go on the debit side, credit item will go on the credit side. We are doing credit balance, credit side. So interest, they have not given us interest received or interest paid. They have simply written interest. How you will come to know that this is interest paid or received? Nothing to worry, students. It's very easy. They have given on the credit side balance. So you are also going to write on the credit side. So it's very simple. If interest is given in the debit column, write it on the debit side. If interest amount is given in the credit column, write it on the credit side. So you have to just check in the question. If it is in the credit column, credit side. If it is in the debit column, debit side. So सीधा rule. Debit wala debit में, credit wala credit में. This is the most important rule. Now, interest they have given in the credit side. So I am writing on the credit side interest. And there is no adjustment on interest. So you can write it in the outer column 310. So student, we are done with our step 2 trial balance. Now we are into last step, adjustments. Now when you are doing step 3 adjustment, as I explained before, you are going to write each and every entry twice because it is unrecorded. So let's start with the first adjustment. It says stock on 31st March, cost price 12,000, market price 17,000. If they have given two values, which you want to consider here, students, the golden rule is whichever is less. So which amount is less, students, here? 12,000 or 17,000? Yes, it is 12,000. So you will record 12,000. Closing stock you will record on the credit side of trading account by closing stock account. 12,000. This is your effect 1. Where second effect will go? In the balance sheet. Closing stock is your asset. So write on the asset side, closing stock 12,000. Done with the first adjustment. So first adjustment, see properly, student, observe me how I am solving. I am writing each and every adjustment 2 times. First effect in trading account, credit side. Second effect in balance sheet, asset side. So every adjustment amount, remember, you have to write 2 times. Am I clear? Let's move on to the second adjustment. Our customer, Mr. Shekhar, failed to pay his dues 800. Our customer is not paying. If he is not paying, it's a bad debts. So this is your further bad debts. 800. Now this is effect 1. Where the second effect goes? In the balance sheet, debtors. From here you minus further bad debts 800. Yes, there is no new RDD given, so you can minus it and write it in the outer column. 17,700. So you have given 2 effects. 800 is an adjustment amount. 800 is an adjustment amount. You will write 2 times. Done with the second. Now third adjustment. 1/8 of the patent to be written off. So less return off. How much? 1/8. So you can. So how much will be a 1/8 of 2,000, students? It will be 2,000 divided by 8. That is 250. So 250 if you minus, it will be 1750. Now students, you have to give second effect of this. Since your asset is decreasing, it's a profit or loss, students. It's a loss. So you will write it in P&L account. Debit side, 2 patents written off. So you have to write 2 times. You have to give 2 effects. One, you have to minus your asset. Then second effect, you will put it in P&L account. Why to put in P&L, students? Your asset ka value is decreasing. If your asset value decreases, it's a loss. Loss, you put it on the debit side. So we have given 2 effects. Observe, student, carefully. We are giving 2 effects for each adjustment amount. Next adjustment is a part of furniture 5,000 is purchased on 1st October. So what is the furniture value, students, here? 13,000. And they are saying that 5,000 ka furniture you have purchased on 1st of October. Now what you have to do is, you have to split this furniture. I don't have space, student, so I am doing a working note here. This is working note. I am not writing inside the account. This is working note area. Since I don't have space, I am writing here. So your new furniture is of 5,000. So out of 13,000, this is your total furniture. Out of total furniture, you have to split it into 2 parts, new and old. New furniture is of 5,000 and old furniture is of 8,000. Now students, why to split this? Because this new furniture you purchased on October. So you count number of months from October to 31st March. You have used this for 6 months only. So why should we charge depreciation for entire year? On this new furniture, I am not going to calculate furniture for entire year. I will calculate depreciation on the new furniture only for 6 months. So let's see, what is the rate of depreciation given? 5%. So you will take on this amount 5,000, 5% for 6 months, 6 by 12. So this is your depreciation on the new furniture, and old furniture is of 8,000. Old means what, student? You have used this furniture for the entire year. So you are going to calculate for the entire year. 8,000 ka 5%. So this will be 400, correct? And 5% of 5,000. 250 ka half, that is 125. So what will be your total depreciation? So see, student, on new furniture you will calculate for 6 months and it is coming 125. On old furniture 8,000 you will calculate for the entire year, it comes to 400. Now add these two, you will come to know total debt. So total depreciation is 525. So let's give two effect of this depreciation amount. You know, student, what we do with the depreciation? We minus from our asset. Why? Because depreciation means the value of asset is decreasing. So you minus from furniture depreciation 525. So in outer column it will be 12,475. Now let's give second effect, student. Depreciation means it's a loss for the business. So loss, you will write it on the debit side. To depreciation on furniture, how much we got? 525. Now I have written inner because there is one more asset, student. Land and building. On land and building you calculate depreciation of 10%. It will be 2200. So you minus it and write it in outer column. 19,800. Now second effect, students. Second effect you will write it here. Land and building 2,200. So total will be 2,725. Am I clear with this? And student, I want you to pause the video and copy this working note. This is a working note of furniture. I want you to copy this working. You can pause the video and copy this working note. You split the furniture into new and old. New pay you will calculate only for 6 months. Why? Because you have purchased it in the month of October. So from October to March you have used it only for 6 months. Therefore depreciation is also for 6 months. And remaining old furniture is of 8,000. You have used it for the entire year. So charge depreciation for the entire full year. Am I clear with this? So this is how we solve the depreciation on furniture. Now we are done with the fifth one, fourth one, now sixth one. Outstanding expenses. You know, students, outstanding expenses, outstanding always add. So you will add outstanding into wages 300, and in outer column you write the total. Now this is effect 1. Where the effect 2 will go? In balance sheet liability. Outstanding wages 300. One more outstanding is given, student, in the same adjustment 6. Outstanding electricity. So add in electricity 200. So 1650. Second effect you give in same liability side. Electricity charges. Outstanding electricity charges 200. So we are giving two effects. Remember, student. Now last adjustment, interest on capital. So you will calculate interest on capital on the capital balance. So write it here by interest on capital account. How much percent? 3%. So let's see what is 3% of 40,000. 1200. And 3% of 20,000. 600. So this is your interest on capital. I am erasing this working note. Hope you have copied this working note, students. You can pause the video and you can copy the working note. Working note is important, students. It will help you to understand the sum, how we calculate it. So this is what, and students, I am going to give you a trick. Listen carefully. Interest on capital, you are going to calculate on capital balance. So trick is right below that balance only. I am calculating on 40,000. So I am writing below that amount only. So this is easy way to write, copy it down in your head, that interest on capital always comes below the capital. This is a trick. Interest on capital below the capital. This is a trick to remember. So this is your effect 1. Interest on capital below capital. Now second effect, students, that is also a trick. That will this you have written below capital on the credit side. Second effect goes on the opposite side, means debit side of P&L. So you will write it here. 2 interest on capital account, and you can write the names Arpana and Prerna. 1200 and 600. Total interest on capital is 1800. So this is a shortcut, student. Interest on capital below capital, and second effect, effect 2, will go on the opposite side of P&L account, that is on the debit side. So one effect in the credit, second effect in the debit. Am I clear? And do remember this trick of remembering the two effects. Am I clear? We are done with adjustment also. We are done with all the 3 steps. Ticking, we have done the ticking. Then second, trial balance, writing one time. And third, adjustment, giving two effects, writing 2 times. Now totaling part, students. You know totaling how to do? You will write. Okay, now let's do total. Now while doing totaling, just put this figure out. Now purchase return, they might have given in the sum, it's 1000 given to you. So write 1000 and minus it and write in outer column 22,700. Now let's do the totaling. Your big total of this side is 41,800. So 41,800 minus 8560 minus 22,700 minus 1250 minus 1000. So your net profit is, gross profit is 8290. Now, so remember, student, big total both side. Your credit side total is big. You will write on both the side. And your debit side total is small. You will write a difference on the smaller side. And this side you will write it as gross profit. Now you will transfer this on the credit side as gross profit brought down 8290. Now let's see. Again this side is greater. Big total on both the side 8600. Big total both side. Remember this rule, student. Big total both the side. And your this side is smaller. You will write difference over here. And you will write it as net profit carried down. Let's find net profit. $825. This is net profit. Now you got net profit on the debit side. You will transfer it in partner's capital on the opposite side by net profit brought down. Now the problem is you have to divide this net profit among both the partners. So I am doing a working note here, students. This is a working note. My net profit is 825 and I want to divide it between Archana and Prerna in the ratio 2:1. So what is the total of 2:1? 2 plus 1 is 3. So divide it by 3. Your answer is 275. After dividing, you are getting 275. So multiply this with both the share. Into 1 will be same and into 2 is 550. So this is how you will split. I am explaining again, students. Your net profit is to be divided between Archana and Prerna. The given ratio in the question is 2:1. You take the total of the ratio 2 is to 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. So you divide your net profit with the total of the ratio 3. After getting the answer, whatever you divide and get the answer, that answer you multiply it by the share of the partner 1 and share of the partner Archana 2. This is the divided profit. Now write these amounts in the respective column 550 and 275. Now total of partners capital account. You will write difference as 2 balance carried down. This side is greater. $41,750. Now minus 1200. 40,550. Now same way for Prerna. Likewise you do totaling of Prerna. 600 plus 275. 20,875 minus 900. 19,975. Now write it here in under partners capital account. That's the reason we have left space here and we wrote other liabilities. We always write partners capital at the top. So Archana, it is 40,550 and Prerna 19,975. Let's see the total. 40,550. So the total is 60,525. Now let's do total of balance sheet. When you do total of balance sheet, it should tally. Let's see whether it is telling or not. 4,000, 17,500, 5,300 and 200. This side total is 87,525. Let's check on the asset side now. 1750, 17,700, 5, 6, 11,300, 19,800, 12,475, then 5,000, 7,500 and 12,000. Yes, it is tallying 87,525. You should get total of both the side same. If it is same, means you have solved correctly. Thank you, students.